A reminder, the news doesn't end here. Here's what's coming up on WCNC Plus at 7 a.m.
Sheriff Gary McFadden is trying to address concerns and confusion, he says, about the juvenile detention center here in Mecklenburg County. He's forced to answer other questions about a recent controversy he's also involved in.
A federal judge will hear arguments this morning over whether a Mint Hill man accused in a terror plot should remain behind bars. Coming up, what the government says makes him a danger and what's at stake in today's hearing.
Doctors sounding the alarm once again as we've hit the highest reported flu cases in the last 25 years.
We are seeing more deaths already.
Why the Carolinas are seeing some of the highest reports of respiratory illnesses in the nation.
And it's warm today, but winter is not done with us yet.
We'll raise your weather IQ on how the wind can change a winter. Those stories and much more live, local, and breaking news coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
And taking you live out in the roads, I-77 near Arrowwood Road. You can see how thick that fog is, and in the shaded orange across the greater Charlotte area, that is where we have the densest fog. So if you can leave a little bit early, that would be my advice. No major issues out on the roads other than that. Majestic?
All right, that fog is going to linger until about 10 o'clock this morning, and then we get to enjoy a gorgeous day. Plenty of sunshine, mid 70-degree temperatures. Still fine, really, as we're wrapping up the work week. It's not until late Friday and into Saturday that rain moves across the Carolinas.
So today we learned 3 people, 1 in 3 people say they require a sweet treat to get through the day. So we thought we'd ask you, what do you prefer to get through the day? A sweet treat or something more savory? And you did not disappoint the sweet treat community.
Wow.
All of you saying, 100% of you, sweet treat is the way to go. 704-329-3600. I'm sort of surprised.
I am too.
Yeah, that was
But
unanimous.
I'm also sweet.
I know. All right, we'll see you at 7 a.m. over on WCNC Plus. streaming live right now at 7 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We start things off with a check of your forecast on this Wednesday morning. Meteorologist Majestic Storm is in, and this really is a sweet treat for all of us.
It's going to be a beautiful day, sunny and warm, possible record warmth today. But first, we still have some pockets of dense fog to get through as well. Live camera look coming in from Lake Norman. This one doesn't look too bad, but we've been showing you a lot of cameras this morning, and there are some where you can hardly see because of how dense the fog is. This is Monroe. Again, you can see those low-lying clouds mixed in with that fog. Kannapolis starting to clear out. It's a gorgeous start to the day there. So watch for this fog. We've been dealing with this now. This is the third morning in a row where we've had that dense fog from Charlotte to Rock Hill, Chester, even through Sharon and Lancaster. So at times it's going to be very difficult to see. Make sure you're driving slow, allowing plenty of space between you and the car in front of you. By about mid-morning, the fog is all going to clear out and it is going to be really, really nice. Now, if you're already outside this morning, maybe you just let your pets outside. You may have noticed that it's really not that cold out. Right now it's 51 degrees in Charlotte. That's right around where we should be when we're looking at our actual average daytime highs. 49 currently in Boone, a much warmer start to the day this morning compared to yesterday at this time. 21 degrees warmer this morning there in Boone. I'm sure you're loving that. 5 degrees warmer down across Lancaster. High temperatures in the mountains today planned for mid to upper 50s. Going to be holding on to a little bit more cloud coverage there. Mostly sunny skies across the foothills with low 70s returning into the afternoon. A high around 72 in Morganton. So this is the kind of weather where you've got to take advantage of it. Abnormally warm. It's going to be a good day to just sit outside. Maybe you want to have lunch outside today or just take an afternoon walk. Mid 70s from Shelby to Lincolnton to even Albemarle. Once we head down to the south, we're at 73 this afternoon out towards Monroe and 73 in Wadesboro. So again, 75 is what we're forecasting today. Our previous high record for today was 77. So I don't know if we'll make it to 77, but we're surely in that territory. A lot of cloud coverage out there this morning, but those clouds will taper off here quick, and then sunny skies and 75-degree temperatures. Now, we do have some changes on the way, but today we don't have to worry about that much. You might want to grab a light jacket as you're heading out the door, and then this afternoon, I'm calling for t-shirt weather. Grab those sunglasses and enjoy. Now, tomorrow, we do have a weak cold front passing through. All it's really going to do is knock our temperatures down a little bit. I mean, still upper 60s, low 70s, mild weather for Thursday. Friday, more cloud coverage rolls back in the area. Temperatures increase, but it's Friday night and into Saturday that we have this cold front, and this cold front is going to provide us with another opportunity for rain. We could use the rain, but the timing of it doesn't look great, and it could even bring some thunderstorm activity. I'm going to give you all those details and more coming up straight ahead. But Becca, let's get a check on those roads. What are you seeing outside this morning?
Rush hour commute has officially commenced, and it is packed with traffic like we typically see for this time of day. Live look from York County. It's dark early. I-77 at Gold Hill. Southbound lanes looking a lot better than those northbound lanes. And then this is over towards Gaston County. Of course, it is dark. This camera in black and white, but you can just see how thick that fog is there at I-85 near Sam Wilson Road. So if you're traveling from Gaston inbound into Mecklenburg County on 85, you'll run into that typical slowdown for this time of day. These are the incidents out there, including this one. This is a crash in East Charlotte, Albemarle Road, heading westbound at North Sharon Amity Road. A stretch of orange there, indicating some delays. And then this one, just minor delays. Back Creek Church Road, crash at Wyndham Point Drive there. And then this one, a little bit further off towards the west, do still have that road blockage, blocking at least one lane of traffic on North Charlotte Street at Orchard Trace Lane.
This morning, we are hearing from Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden as he faces efforts to remove him from office.
The sheriff sharing his side of the story during a public panel about the county's juvenile detention center. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane is live this morning at that detention center to explain why some say the timing of this panel is important. Richard.
Yeah, good morning to you, Lisa. Good morning, Ben. Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Basically, folks were concerned about this jail north, as it's called, the Juvenile Detention Center, and why it's been closed for so long and why it hasn't been reopened. The sheriff wanted to address those issues, but of course, people wanted to know about the latest controversy that he's been involved in. Yeah, that meeting was held to focus on clarifying why the detention center has been closed, the challenges involved in reopening the juvenile detention center, and what would be required to bring it back. Sheriff Gary McFadden emphasized transparency, correcting misconceptions surrounding the facility. However, the discussion came at a sensitive time as McFadden faces renewed controversy, including that legal petition filed by State Representative Carla Cunningham, along with 3 other former sheriff office leaders, which state that petition seeks to remove him from office. It also accuses McFadden of misconduct and mismanagement. The sheriff has denied these claims and has welcomed a review by the SBI, the State Bureau of Investigation. Community members say the timing of the panels argues that conversations about the juvenile detention center can't be separated from broader concerns about leadership, accountability, and public safety within the sheriff's office. Some residents at that meeting expressed frustration, saying questions about how juveniles would be supervised reflect deeper doubts about the current administration.
I do think the juvenile detention center needs to be reopened under your leadership. Absolutely not.
Petition is nothing but a smear campaign designed just before the election, filled with lies, and we welcome the investigation and we respect the investigation that will be occurring, and that is all we're going to say at this time.
And again, that the SBI is now investigating. They'll return those findings to the district attorney, at which time the district attorney will decide how to handle the matters going forward. Of course, while all this happens, McFadden is still the sheriff of Mecklenburg County. We're right here at Jail North. This is Richard Devane. We'll send it back to you.
Richard, thank you for that. As you may know, Sheriff McFadden first joined us here on WCNC Plus addressing those allegations, saying he couldn't comment since there's a pending SBI investigation. He did say he believes the allegations are politically motivated. Take a listen.
Always concerned about how someone tried to create a different image of you. We're always going to be concerned about that. People who know me know my image, they know my style. And so, you know, it is always that era that we have when it becomes election season. And so we're in the middle of election season, 60 days out from the primary. So we all understand that. It is devastating to my staff, my family, and also to myself. But we have to leave it to the process.
McFadden says his office will move forward despite the distraction that this could cause. You can watch that full discussion right here on WCNC Plus. Don't miss out on exclusive in-depth interviews just like that one. Download WCNC Plus, as you probably have already done, and watch it for free. Sheriff McFadden is set to appear before a House Oversight Committee in Raleigh later this month on the 22nd. He's expected to address several topics, including public safety, strategy, and the department's DEI efforts.
7:07 now. Happening today, the Mint Hill man charged with plotting a New Year's Eve terror attack is expected in federal court. Officials say 18-year-old Christian Sturdivant planned to use knives and hammers to attack people at a local grocery store and fast food restaurant. They tell us he contacted a social media account he thought was connected to ISIS. It was actually an undercover officer. Later this morning, WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards is going to join us with a closer look into what investigators believe led Sturdivant to attempt the attack.
This morning, some teachers across North Carolina will be walking out of class. Statewide protests being organized by North Carolina Teachers in Action. The group says it's fighting for fair pay and better working conditions. Here in Charlotte, CMS says they're aware but do not endorse the possible walkouts, adding, quote, "We deeply value the dedication and impact of our educators."
This morning, CMPD continues to investigate the city's first homicide of the year. We now know 24-year-old Kashmir Wright was the person shot and killed on Carroll Avenue in the Enderley Park neighborhood. Charlotte City Council member Malcolm Graham says the city needs the General Assembly to provide more resources so the city can be effective in its safety efforts.
Whether it's more DAs, more public defenders, more resources for our judicial system in terms of courts and judges and IT, magistrate reform.
So far, there is no word on an arrest in this case. If you have any information, you should call police. After the U.S. operation in Venezuela, other nations are now sounding the alarm why concerns are spreading beyond the region.
7:12 right now here on WCNC Plus. After the U.S. capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, other countries from Colombia to Greenland are raising concerns about the possible U.S. intervention. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest as Trump administration officials will brief all members of Congress on the operation today.
In a new sign of the importance of Venezuelan oil, President Trump announcing Venezuela's interim authorities will turn over 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. to be sold at market price, and that President Trump would control the profits to benefit the people of both countries. That as he praised the U.S. mission to capture Venezuela's now deposed authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro.
It was so complex, 152 airplanes, many. Talk about boots on the ground. We had a lot of boots on the ground.
Maduro and his wife now facing federal charges in the U.S., accused of bringing tons of illegal drugs into this country. While on Capitol Hill, Democrats are questioning the motivation for Maduro's removal.
The president, said this was about narco trafficking, and now he's saying it's about oil.
All members of Congress are due for a briefing today on the operation amid mounting questions about what's next, as President Trump asserts the U.S. is in charge in Venezuela, while the country's interim president, a close Maduro ally, insists no external agent is governing the country. Her government cracking down on dissent and detaining journalists. And across the border in Colombia, where President Trump has signaled he may focus next, heightened alert.
This sets a precedent that is extremely worrying because it threatens regional peace and security.
While European allies are voicing deep concern amid new details from the White House that President Trump and his team are discussing a range of options for acquiring Greenland, and that using the U.S. military is always an option, calling it a national security priority. Greenland is strategically important, mineral-rich, and a semi-autonomous part of the Kingdom of Denmark, a NATO ally. The government of Denmark has requested an urgent meeting with Secretary of State Marco Rubio and has rejected President Trump's claim that the country is unable to protect Greenland. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Federal officials say the man suspected of killing 2 students at Brown University and an MIT professor had been planning the attack for months. They say Claudio Valente also left a series of short videos providing no clear motive, but suggested he spent significant time planning. The 48-year-old former Brown student and Portuguese national was found dead in a storage facility after a multi-day manhunt. Those new details come as students and staff at Brown University are just a few weeks away from returning to campus for the spring semester. 2 students were killed, 9 others hurt. The university says the entire school population was impacted that day. In the video, the school's president addressed the Brown community and expressed sorrow for the students lost and those still recovering.
We are grieving the loss of sophomore Ella Cook and first-year Muhammad Aziz Umarzakov, and we continue to pray for the healing of those who are injured.
The university's president also detailed the enhancements they've made to security, from more staffing and cameras to more technology and training. The school cordoned off the area where that shooting happened to make sure students don't have to relive that day.
Opening statements now underway in the trial of a former Uvalde police officer accused of failing to protect kids during the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in 2022. Adrian Gonzalez is charged with 29 counts of child abandonment or endangerment. Prosecutors say he didn't take action to slow or distract the gunman, while his defense argues he did what he could with the information he had. The man accused of killing Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife is appearing in court today. Their son, 32-year-old Nick Reiner, is being arraigned on 2 counts of first-degree murder after the couple was found stabbed to death in their California home last month. Nick is being represented by high-profile defense attorney Alan Jackson, who is urging the public not to rush to judgment. If convicted, Reiner could face life in prison without parole or the death penalty.
Starbucks kicking off the new year with a new winter menu and some surprising flavors. We'll show you next.
Well, good morning, everyone. Difficult to see out there still because we're holding on to still a lot of fog that's continuing to build. This is a live camera look. Hard to even see, but this is downtown Monroe where visibility is going to be very limited. So if you are heading out the door and you're traveling throughout that area, be mindful. That's what it looks like. Dense fog advisories issued by the National Weather Service still in place until about 9 o'clock this morning. Notice all counties shaded in gray. You'll be under that, and that's where we are dealing with the worst fog, so it makes sense that that has been issued. Less than half of a mile of visibility for many of us from Charlotte to Gastonia, Shelby, Lincolnton, even worse from Cheraw out towards Lancaster. So yes, very dense fog for the first half of our morning. By about 9-10 o'clock, everything will mix out, similar to the forecast that we had yesterday, but today we get to turn up the warmth even more. Live camera, this one's coming in from Dallas. You can see those low-lying clouds, some fog mixed in, but up above it looks gorgeous. Lylesville coming in from Anson County, looking nice with clearing already happening. Again, the big weather story today is that it is going to feel very spring-like with temperatures continuing to rise back into the 70s. But here in Charlotte, we're forecasting a high around 75 degrees. Possible record warmth. Our previous daily high record was 77 degrees. That was set back in 1890, a long time ago. But I don't know if we'll get to 77, but we're sure going to get really close to it. Thursday and Friday, it'll be warm and dry, near 70 still as we're wrapping up our work week. And then heading into the weekend, Saturday doesn't look to be the most beautiful day with rain showers and possibly a few storms pushing across the area. Let's get you out the door, though, if you're heading off to work or maybe taking those kids to school today. We're looking at 40s and 50s. So stepping outside, you'll probably think, it's not that cold. Maybe like to walk your dog in the morning and you don't need that big heavy jacket because, again, temperatures are into the low 50s. That's closer to where we should be when we're actually looking at our average daytime high compared to what we're going to see today when we're looking at our forecasted high. Again, right around 74, 75 degrees, 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon. And notice few clouds out there, cloudy conditions and foggy conditions, and then it all tapers off, mixes out, and today's going to be a nice day. 74 degrees this afternoon in Wadesboro, 72 in Lancaster, and low 70s in Morganton. Now coming up in just a few minutes, I'm going to be back here detailing out that cold front, again moving in Friday and into Saturday. With that, we know we're going to expect some rain showers heading into the area on Saturday, but you see the strong line of thunderstorms. It's a wide line. It's a more of a narrow line, but it's a long one, and once it actually reaches the Carolinas, we're now questioning how strong it will be, how well it will hold together, and the timing of when it actually hits our area too all plays a role in the forecast. So we'll talk more about those details, and I'll show you my full 7-day forecast coming up. But Becca, how are the roads? I know it's incredibly foggy right around the uptown area too.
That's right. The fog's certainly not helping with that busy Wednesday morning rush hour commute. You definitely want to use your low beams if you are headed out early this morning. This is the live look from I-77 at the John Belk Freeway. Normally we would have a nice view of uptown, but of course that is shielded by the dense fog there. And several incidents out there that I do want to get to. This newest one is going to be over towards Ballantyne Comets Parkway. This is right near Johnston Road, and it is causing a stretch of delays there that you could see in the orange, some stop and go traffic at the very least. In addition, we still have a lane blocked from this North Tryon Street at Orchard Trace Lane. It's just north of Tom Hunter Road and just south of the I-85 connector road. This crash still causing some issues. It's Albemarle Road heading westbound at North Sharon Amity Road. So if you're headed off to go to inbound Independence, you will have to run into these delays as well.
All right, check this out. Starbucks sweetening things up with an update to its winter menu. The coffee chain rolling out new Dubai chocolate-inspired drinks and bringing back a fan favorite.
Customers can now order an iced Dubai chocolate mocha, expanding on the flavor that's been getting a lot of buzz recently for its rich dessert-like taste. The menu update also adds 2 new caramel protein drinks, along with the return of the pistachio latte. Plus, a brand new pistachio cortado. Starbucks says the changes are part of its push to keep seasonal menus fresh and then set with what customers are asking for. And yes, there are also some new food items and merchandise hitting the stores.
I love those cake pops.
That pistachio latte is...
Meantime, Dubai chocolate, you see like everywhere now.
Goodness, it's exploded.
Still haven't tried it.
It's really good. I mean,
it's very good.
Yeah, I had it a few weeks ago over the break, and it was really good.
Yeah, it's good.
I still don't know exactly what it is, but it's good.
Yeah, what's the big difference between regular chocolate and Dubai
It actually has like a crunch to it, and it has, I think, pistachio
I was
on
going
the
to say
inside.
pistachio with the chocolate. It is.
It's good.
So in drink form, should be good.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, live pictures right now. I believe this is right at I-77 and John Belk. Usually you would see Uptown in the background, but fog is so dense, it's a problem. So just know that as you head out the door. Another check of your forecast and traffic right here on WCNC Plus.
Good Wednesday morning, everyone. It is hard to see out there again this morning because we're dealing with really dense fog across the area. This is downtown Monroe, where you can hardly see because of all the fog. It's not just Monroe, though. Even right here in Charlotte, Rock Hill, Lancaster, Cheraw, make sure you are driving for the conditions. We'll stay under dense fog advisories until 9 o'clock this morning. And then once that fog mixes out, it is going to be a gorgeous day. Now, if you're heading out the door anytime soon, you'll probably notice it's not really that cold outside. It's 51 degrees. That's close to our average high temperature for this time of the year. But instead, we are cranking up the heat today. 75 degrees, sunny skies by the afternoon. It is going to feel fantastic all across the area. We'll see those above average temperatures throughout the rest of our work week. Daytime highs will feel nice and rain chances will continue Friday night and into Saturday. All right, Becca, how are the roads this morning?
No major issues out there. Taking a live look outside from West Charlotte, I-485 near Mount Holly Road. You can see traffic moving along nicely as it should be, but in other portions of the area, especially I-77 North coming from York embedded in Mecklenburg County, that's where we have the biggest slowdowns. Want to take you out to this crash over towards Gaston County. This is just south of I-85 at Aberdeen Boulevard at East Franklin.
Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 7:30 on this Wednesday. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. In just a few hours, the man accused of planning a New Year's Eve terror attack in Mint Hill is set to face a judge.
WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards is live this morning outside the courthouse in Uptown. Destiny, what are we expecting to learn today?
We're expecting to learn whether Christian Sturtevant will remain behind bars when his case, or as his case, moves forward. And investigators say the 18-year-old had been planning this attack for nearly a year. He was also under nonstop FBI surveillance in the days leading up to New Year's Eve. Now, Sturtevant is charged with attempting to provide material support to ISIS after investigators say he planned a violent attack for New Year's Eve. According to federal authorities, Sturtevant was under investigation after contacting what he believed were ISIS members on social media who were actually undercover officers with the NYPD and FBI. They say Sturtevant described plans for a mass stabbing at a grocery store and a fast food restaurant in Mint Hill, allegedly sending photos of knives and hammers and pledging allegiance to ISIS. According to court documents, agents later searched his home and found handwritten notes labeled New Year's Attack 2026, a list of potential targets and tactical gear.
We are leaving no stone unturned here. Our investigation is not over at all. We are looking to find out if there are any associates, if there are any friends, if there are any people he were working with, whether it's domestically here in the United States or overseas.
Now, if convicted, Sturtevant could face up to 20 years in federal prison. He had his first appearance in court last week where the judge ruled he remain in jail. The detention hearing today is set for 10:30 this morning. I'll send it back to you guys live here in Uptown.
So, Destiny, I know you explained that we're expecting to find out if he will remain in custody while this plays out. What are we expecting from both sides today?
Yeah, so federal prosecutors will likely be making the case that he deserves to stay behind bars, saying that he's a danger to the community, and they'll be pointing to all of that evidence, the pictures of the knives and hammers, the tactical gear, the letter, and everything that we just laid out for you. And then the defense will be able to respond, and they will make the case for why he should be released and possibly even try to make the case for restrictions while he is out and not in jail. So that will likely be what we hear in the courtroom. Then the judge ultimately will decide what happens from there.
All right, Destiny Richards, thanks for that report.
Well, New This Morning School has been canceled in Avery County today. The district citing a water main break as the reason students will not be in class. Right now, neighbors who live between State Employees Credit Union and Mountain Electric in Newland are being asked to boil their water until further notice.
A court has dismissed a North Carolina sheriff's deputy's appeal in a deadly 2020 shooting involving a mentally distressed veteran. Deputy Justin Evans wanted to overturn that ruling that allowed an excessive force lawsuit to move forward. The appeals court said it didn't have jurisdiction to review the deputy's appeal. This happened in Cumberland County, that's near Fayetteville. The deputy argued that he should be protected from that lawsuit over the shooting of 39-year-old Adrian Roberts. This dismissal means the case will return to trial. Let's check back in with Majestic now to find out more about our forecast, and it is a foggy start out there.
3 mornings in a row now where we've been dealing with really low visibility because of how dense that fog is, and we're seeing it again outside this morning. Hard to even tell, but this is downtown Monroe, and really a lot of places are waking up to a similar view. National Weather Service, remember, will keep us under this dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock today, and that makes sense because look at how low the visibility is. I mean, less than a quarter of a mile out towards Monroe and Lancaster, even Cheraw. Shelby, watch for low visibility, especially now that more people are up and awake, maybe heading off to a morning run or a walk, or those kids are crossing crosswalks heading off to class today. Once that fog mixes out, though, today is going to be gorgeous. I mean, we're talking about sunny skies and warm weather. We just have to get through that dense fog this morning. Look at how pretty this is. Lylesville coming in from Anson County. You can see that low-lying fog there, but then up above it, giving us a preview of what we get to expect later on in the day. Temperatures, maybe you've already been outside this morning, maybe you just let out your pets and you noticed it's not that cold outside, and really it's not. We didn't cool down a whole lot overnight, and now temperatures, they're in the 40s and 50s. That's just setting the tone for an overall very warm day ahead. Look at these afternoon highs. Yesterday we topped off at 68 degrees. Today we're forecasting a high of 75 under nothing but blue sunny skies, so enjoy the day. We'll be close to our record warm high. Previously it was 77 degrees. I don't know if we'll get quite that warm, but surely very, very close to it. 75 this afternoon in Gastonia, 57 there in Jefferson, and low 70s in Lancaster. So as you're preparing for your day, getting dressed, heading out the door, maybe a light jacket, but by the afternoon we're talking about t-shirt weather. By tomorrow or Thursday, a few more clouds. Temperatures drop a few degrees because of a weak passing cold front. Really no problems there. Most of the day on Friday will be fine as well. Just not a ton of sunshine, but then we have that cold front moving through Friday and into Saturday. Futurecast looks like this. You can see a line of thunderstorms starting to form. Here's early on Saturday. I'm talking about 3 o'clock in the morning. Storm Prediction Center already indicating that several states will be impacted by that line of storms, strong to severe thunderstorms. Now here's the thing, likely as that line continues to track more to the east, it's going to lose some of its momentum, which is good because a couple days out, we're already seeing the indication that this could bring severe weather across Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, even into parts of Tennessee. So likely it will lose some of its strength as it hits the Carolinas, but it really depends on the timing of this as well. Now, if that line actually reaches us a little earlier in the morning, that would be good. Now, if we wait until the afternoon, temperatures will be warm. We're talking about 70s on Saturday. So then potential storms will have the fuel that they need in order to fire up. The warmth, the humidity, the atmosphere will really be primed for that. So that's something that we're continuing to follow. Bottom line, we know Saturday is going to be a rather wet day. We're watching that there on our 7-day forecast, brought to you by Jerry Hunt Super Center, of course. So again, 75 degrees today. Enjoy it. The rest of our work week, hold it on to above average temperatures. And Saturday, still warm, but I even think at times it could feel a little muggy as that line of storms continue to get closer to us. So stay close to the team. We'll keep you up to date with the very latest. All right, Becca, let's get a check on those roads.
And I'm looking at the usual traffic jam that we see for this time of day. This is a live look from York County, I-77, especially over towards Gold Hill Road. And as you approach Mecklenburg County, this is when it really starts to get slow on those northbound lanes. Looking at some fog and some poor visibility once again. The greater Charlotte area, I-77 near Remount Road. Traffic moving slowly because of it, and you'll definitely want to use those low beams as you hit the roads this morning. In the orange shaded, that is where we have the densest fog out there. So that continues on I-77, basically from Statesville down into the Charlotte Metro, in between portions of York and Chester County. That also continues for I-85, portions of Concord, I'd say all the way through about Cleveland County. Definitely just want to exercise some caution. Looking at a couple of new things here, including this one. This is going to be a crash. I've been mentioning Harrisburg Road at Cambridge Commons Drive, but I am seeing some orange there on those southbound lanes, indicating some small delays. And then this one, East Charlotte, probably causing the most significant delays at this point. Albemarle Road heading westbound at North Sharon Amity Road. An updated look at drive times. Matthews to Uptown take about 32 minutes on Independence. Salisbury is now up to 60. Waxhaw 39 and Beaumont 24.
This morning, project officials say the 45 express lanes in South Charlotte are set to open by late next month. It'll add an express lane in each direction between I-77 and Independence Boulevard, plus an extra general purpose lane. For now, tolls will be set by the time of day, but after a year, prices could change depending on traffic and speeds in those express lanes. Drivers in Waxhaw, listen up. A new construction project could impact your commute. Starting next week, part of Billy Howie Road is going to be closed. Crews are repairing the bridge deck over East Fork 12 Mile Creek. Construction expected to take up to 5 weeks. A detour will be in place along New Town Road and Pleasant Grove Road. Well, a new boutique hotel in the works for downtown Rock Hill, and it has a unique mission: creating jobs for folks with disabilities. The Lantern Hotel Rock Hill will transform the historic Andrew Jackson Hotel. It's going to include 56 rooms, a restaurant, bar, speakeasy, event space, and a lot more. The hotel expected to open in fall of this year.
New this morning, a group of Buddhist monks walking for peace that left Georgia last week are now in South Carolina. After 73 days on the move, the monks, along with their dog, crossed the Savannah River into the Palmetto State on Tuesday. The group started the 2,300-mile journey in Fort Worth, Texas in late October. You can see them walking along a South Carolina highway with their fans cheering them on. The monks will make a stop in Columbia today, eventually arriving at their final destination, Washington, D.C.
7:40 right now on WCNC Plus. The public radio station here in North Carolina just lost all its federal funding, but it's still on the air. We're going to show how the community is keeping it alive. This morning, a growing controversy around artificial intelligence and online safety.
As NBC News' Gadi Schwartz reports, Elon Musk's AI tool Grok is under fire after reports it's being used to create non-consensual, sexualized deepfake images, raising alarm about how these tools are being policed.
Grok, the AI tool from Elon Musk's company X, is under fire. The app, which has an image editing feature, is now being used to create non-consensual and sexualized deepfake images of women and children.
Grok was producing at least a dozen inappropriate images every minute. People were commanding the chatbot to take people's clothes off, basically.
An uptick in those pictures after Grok enhanced its image generation abilities with a new model last month.
I was disgusted.
Content creator Ashley St. Clair, who has a child with Musk, says she's seen countless explicit images of herself, which she says were generated by the chatbot and shared across the platform. She's asked Grok to stop sharing the images.
There should be consequences because this is a much larger issue that's outside of me.
One analysis found more than 50% of images generated by Grok between December 25th and January 1st were non-consensual sexual images, primarily targeting women, and 2% of them depicting a person who appeared to be 18 or younger.
With Grok Imagine, you can turn any of your pictures into videos.
An NBC News review found even though many of the inappropriate images were taken down, Grok continues to produce sexualized images of non-consenting parties. Musk did not respond to NBC's request for comment, but posted on X that anyone using Grok to make illegal content will suffer the same consequences as if they uploaded illegal content. Though Musk also using Grok to make a deepfake version of himself wearing a bikini, calling the app's creation perfect. Gadi Schwartz, NBC News.
Well, a new year means new opportunities for scammers to target you, and it's important to stay alert. Experts say impersonation scams, investment scams, and job scams are expected to be among the most common this year. The biggest change experts are seeing in how scammers are targeting you. Bad actors increasingly using AI to target their victims.
Now they can craft much better messages and more believable, either by text or by email. And they can also replicate the voice of people that we know, or make a voice or videos that sound and look very convincing.
If you do fall for a scam in the new year, the best thing to do is report it to the Internet Complaint Crime Center and to your local law enforcement. In some cases, it can help get some of your money back.
The Corporation for Public Broadcasting is shutting down after Congress stripped more than $1 billion in federal funding from the nonprofit. President Patricia Harrison says the group chose to dissolve in order to protect the integrity of public media rather than remain defunded and vulnerable. Created in 1967, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting supported more than 1,500 local stations and helped fund programs like Sesame Street, Frontline, and All Things Considered. Now, despite those cuts, a public radio station here in North Carolina is surviving on community donations. Public Radio East has been on the air for more than 40 years in New Bern. After Congress passed those spending cuts, the radio station lost about $144,000, roughly 12% of its overall budget. Now, with that federal support gone, the station is relying on one group to get by.
We do not have that $144,000 that we were counting on to operate this year. So now we are relying on the community of Eastern North Carolina to step up and support us.
The community has stepped up. On Monday, $100,000 antenna replacement project was completed. This was paid for by listeners.
Lego stepping into the tech world with something brand new. We'll show you what their smart bricks can do after the break.
Good Wednesday morning, everyone. If you're just waking up and turning on the stream, I hope you're off to a great start to the day. Here's the deal. We're dealing with a lot of dense fog again this morning. This is now the third morning in a row where we've had dense fog advisories issued by the National Weather Service. All counties shaded in this gray. You'll stay under them until about 10 o'clock this morning. And it makes sense because we're dealing with a lot of fog out there. Low visibility in and around uptown, south of us through Rock Hill, Chester, Lancaster, even back towards Gastonia and Shelby. So be prepared for changing conditions because at times, honestly, it's going to be difficult to see. And at other times, you won't have any fog whatsoever. Look at how pretty this is. Dallas coming into us live right there. A gorgeous sunrise there. And you can see Lylesville, similar, those low-lying clouds there, and that fog just kind of mixed in all together. It's going to be foggy and mild start to the day, but we're getting you ready for a gorgeous afternoon to look forward to. We're talking about very spring-like temperatures back into the mid-70s today. Warm as we're finishing out the work week. Thursday and Friday, warm and dry, near 70 degrees again. And then Saturday, temperatures are still holding on into the 70s, but we're watching a front that could trigger some storms to fire up and eventually bringing us some rain as well. Heading out the door this morning, whether you're heading off to work, getting those kids to school, or maybe you're just heading out to walk your dog this morning, it's really not that cold. It's 51 degrees. That's close to where we should be for our actual high temperature this time of the year. 46 up towards Hickory, 49 in Boone. So across the board, I don't think anyone needs to grab their big, heavy winter jacket. Not today. Few clouds out there this morning mixed in with a lot of fog, but notice by mid-morning and into the afternoon, it is going to clear out nice. Sunny skies around 74, 75 degrees today for our average high, or for our high temperature today. Much warmer than where we should be. 75 in Lincolnton and Shelby, low 70s out towards Morganton and Hickory. So enjoy the day today. Maybe you need to do some outdoor chores. Today's the day to do it. Or maybe you want to fire up the barbecue and just have dinner outside. I mean, why not? This is a nice looking January forecast, and daytime highs again will continue to climb back into the upper 60s and low 70s, not just today, but all the way through Saturday. Now remember, there's a catch on Saturday. We're going to be watching this right here. These are thunderstorms. It's a strong line of strong to severe thunderstorms that extend all the way from Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. It passes through Mississippi, and then it continues to track eastward. Now, likely as it continues to do that, it's going to lose a lot of its momentum, which is good because the Storm Prediction Center is already indicating that several states could be impacted by severe weather Thursday and Friday, especially on Friday right here in this area shaded in orange. Again, while it continues to move across the Carolinas, hopefully it does lose that strength, but the timing in which it arrives also plays a big role in the forecast. We're going to pause right now, and I'm going to let you know more about the specific timing of this cold front and what that really means and how it could impact those Saturday plans. But for now, let's send things to Becca with a check on those roads. Good morning, Becca.
Good morning. And you know what? Huntersville actually looking a little bit better in terms of that fog. Much clearer view from I-77 near Gilead Road. It's just packed with traffic. So if this is a morning for you to hop on the toll, definitely would be a good time to do so. We've got lots of crashes and incidents out there, so allow yourself plenty of extra time as you hit the roads this morning. Want to get you to this one. This is Audrey Kell Road crash being reported at Tom Short Road, just a little bit further off to the west. We still have this one. It's at Johnston Road crash at Valentine Commons Parkway, but it's heading northbound, and you can see that stretch of orange and red there. That will add several extra minutes to that morning drive. Looking at this one as well, this is going to be over towards East Charlotte, Robinson Church Road crash at Fairford Drive, and we do have delays in both directions.
All right, thanks so much for that, Becca. Well, some of the newest ideas in tech are on display at the annual Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. This year, there's a showing from a company that you might not typically associate with technology.
Lego unveiled what it calls Smart Play bricks. They look a lot like regular Lego pieces, you already know, but they're equipped with chips that can detect similar chips in other building blocks. That means they can light up or make different noises when in proximity to each other. The new bricks launch in March with a tie-in built to showcase the new tech Star Wars.
Interesting.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm sure it's very cool.
I need an example, like right here.
Yeah,
so I
to
can
see it.
Yeah, we need Chris here because I know his son loves Legos.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would love that.
And smart bricks.
Legos, I mean, those things got staying power.
Legos have been around like for ever.
When I was in New York a few weeks ago, the Lego store there, the line was around the block.
Really?
I bought Legos for my kids for Christmas.
And I was like, what in the world? Was there a celebrity? No, it was just Legos.
And adults,
Yeah.
like just loving
Yeah.
those little kits too, where you can make like flower vases or you can make something really intricate.
Oh yeah, and now all the characters from movies and all the things. So there's staying power for sure.
It's impressive. All right, folks, this is what you face when you head out the door.
Nothing is wrong with our camera, FYI.
No, this is it. Fog. Third morning in a row, we're dealing with this fog. The good news is, once it burns off, it is going to be a fantastic day. We're talking temperatures in the 70s. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're back after this.
Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Yet again, we are waking up to a very foggy start to the morning. You can hardly see it, but this is downtown Monroe, really putting into perspective just how foggy it is and how low visibility is. National Weather Service again went ahead and issued this dense fog advisory that'll stay in place until about 9-10 o'clock this morning. So watch for this, not just in Monroe and Charlotte, but we're seeing pockets of dense fog that extends out towards Lancaster and Chirac, even out towards Rock Hill. But once that all mixes out, today's going to be a gorgeous one. Have you noticed that temperatures aren't really that cold this morning? We're mainly into the 40s and 50s. And as we're picking up those kids after school today, mid-70s and sunny skies for your Wednesday forecast. Enjoy the day today. Might even be a good night to fire up the barbecue, have some dinner outside. We do have changes moving in this weekend. All right, Becca, how are the roads this morning?
The fog is thick out there, especially around uptown. Live view from I-77 right near the John Belk Freeway. You can see traffic moving along nicely, but we got the usual slowdowns, especially around I-85 over towards Gaston County if you're headed northbound. Lots of incidents out there. Want to get you to this new one. This is going to be on Independence Boulevard at Village Lake Drive. This is heading southbound and lots of delays.
Streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington.
This morning we are hearing from Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden as he faces efforts to remove him from office.
McFadden sharing his side of the story during a public panel about the county's juvenile detention center. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane is live at that detention center this morning, explaining why some say the timing of this panel is important. Richard.
Yeah, good morning to you, Lisa. Good morning, Ben. Good Wednesday morning, folks on the Plus. Basically, this is a juvenile center, Jail North as it's called. It's been closed since its last contract wasn't renewed by the Mecklenburg County Sheriff. McFadden was was part of that meeting to talk about the controversies involving this center. But even as he was doing that, the latest controversies that he was involved in were the focus of that meeting. Now, the discussions came at a very sensitive time as McFadden faced that renewed controversy, including a legal petition filed by State Representative Carla Cunningham, along with former sheriff office leaders. That petition seeks to remove McFadden from office because of what they say misconduct and mismanagement. The sheriff has denied these claims and has welcomed a review by the State Bureau of Investigation. Community members at the meeting say the timing of the panel matters, arguing that conversations about juvenile detention cannot be separated from broader concerns about leadership, accountability, and public safety within the sheriff's own office. Some residents expressed frustration, saying that questions about how juveniles would be supervised reflect deeper doubts about this current administration.
I do think the juvenile detention center needs to be reopened under your leadership. Absolutely not.
Petition is nothing but a smear campaign designed just before the election, filled with lies, and we welcome the investigation and we respect the investigation that will be occurring, and that is all we're going to say at this time.
And what's next? What is next is that the State Bureau of Investigation will conduct this investigation over the next few days. It could be longer than that. And then once they get all of this information, they'll present it to the District Attorney, Spencer Merriweather, who will determine what to do next, up to removing the current sheriff. Of course, in March is the primary, and the sheriff is running for re-election, and he has a number of people he's running against in the Democratic primary that's set for this March. We'll keep you posted on all of this. Right now, we're in North Charlotte. Richard Devane, guys, we'll send it back to you.
Richard, thanks. It's worth mentioning Sheriff McFadden first joined us right here on WCNC Plus, addressing some of those allegations, saying he couldn't comment since there's a pending SBI investigation. He did say he believes the allegations are politically motivated. Take a listen.
Always concerned about how someone tried to create a different image of you. We're always going to be concerned about that. People who know me know my image, they know my style. And so, it is always that era that we have when it becomes election season. And so we're in the middle of election season, 60 days out from the primary. So we all understand that. It is devastating to my staff, my family, and also to myself. But we have to leave it to the process.
McFadden says the sheriff's office will move forward despite the distraction that this could cause. You can watch that full interview right here on WCNC Plus. As you know, you don't want to miss out on exclusive, in-depth conversations just like this one. By the way, Sheriff McFadden is set to appear before a House Oversight Committee in Raleigh later this month on the 22nd. He's expected to address several topics, including public safety, strategy, and the department's DEI efforts.
Happening today, the Mint Hill man charged with plotting a New Year's Eve terror attack is expected in federal court. Officials say 18-year-old Christian Sturdivant planned to use knives and hammers to attack people at a local grocery store and a fast food restaurant. They tell us he contacted a social media account he thought was connected to ISIS. It was actually an undercover officer. Later this morning on WCNC Charlotte and WCNC Plus, our Destiny Richards is going to join us with a closer look into what investigators believe Sturdivant to attempt the attack. This morning, CMPD continues to investigate the city's first homicide of the year. We now know 24-year-old Kashmir Wright was the person shot and killed on Carroll Avenue in the Enderley Park neighborhood. Charlotte City Council member Malcolm Graham says the city needs the General Assembly to provide more resources so the city can be effective in its safety efforts.
Whether it's more DAs, more public defenders, more resources for our judicial system in terms of courts and judges and IT, magistrate reform.
So far, there is still no word on an arrest in this case. If you have any information, you should call police. And we're learning more about the remains found at a home in Richmond County. Reports showed last month deputies responded to a well check at a home on Concord Church Road in Ellerby. Officials say the remains were those of 75-year-old Roxanne Shrewsbury. An investigation found she died of natural causes with no evidence of foul play. All right, 8:05 now. Let's check back in with Majestic. Hopefully some of that fog is lifting.
It's getting a little better for some of us, but other areas, I mean, we're really just socked in with that dense fog, making it difficult to see. So let's take a look at some of our live cameras. This is what Lake Norman looks like right now. Not too bad as you're heading more north. Meanwhile, in Monroe, you can't see anything. It's been very foggy there this morning, even in our downtown Monroe cameras. And then you head over towards Kannapolis, and a lot of that fog has already mixed out, and you can tell today is going to be nice. So much sunshine on the way, but many of us, we still have that dense fog to get through. In and around Charlotte, we are holding on to foggy conditions. You're looking outside your window, you're thinking, where's the sunshine? It's going to take a little while before that fog mixes out. Even from Rock Hill, Chester, Lancaster, even east of Charlotte, Wadesboro, really low visibility. And even if you're traveling, maybe you're heading up towards Salisbury or Greensboro, you can see this fog is dense and it is really quite widespread at this point. As we're looking at our current temperatures, there is something that you might also notice this morning is that it's really not that cold outside. It's 51 degrees early this morning here in Charlotte, 52 in Lancaster, it's 49 in Boone. We've seen these temperatures really start out quite mild. We just didn't cool down a whole lot overnight. In Boone this morning, you were about 20 degrees warmer than where you were yesterday at this time. So again, getting you ready for a very nice day, a mild start to the morning other than that fog. Once we head into the afternoon, a few more clouds out there in the mountains today. Otherwise, temperatures will continue to rise back into the mid to upper 50s. That's a warm day there in the mountains. Once we're heading across the foothills, 72 will be your high temperature there in Morganton, 71 in Hickory, low 70s out towards Maiden and Lenore. Now let's take you out towards Charlotte. We're at 75 in Gastonia and Shelby. A great day to spend some time outside. Maybe you work from home and you might want to just open up some of your windows, let in that nice fresh air and that sunlight today. 73 in Monroe as well as Wadesboro. Now today's going to be so nice. This is my favorite day out of the whole week. We'll have sunny skies and warm weather. And again, even if you're waking up to cloudy conditions like a lot of us are, it's not going to stick around for long. Heading out the door, light jacket early in the morning, sure, but by the afternoon, you'll really just want a t-shirt, grab your sunglasses, and off you go. It is going to be comfortable, very spring-like. But notice our temperatures over the next 4 days, they'll stay abnormally warm, upper 60s, low to mid 70s. But notice as we're wrapping up our work week and heading into the weekend, we have more clouds on the way and then eventually some shower and storm activity. So coming up in just a few minutes, I'm going to be back here talking about this cold front that's on the way and the impacts that it may have around the area come Saturday. It's not just rain, but potentially we could even see some thunderstorms in January. This is all just kind of a weird week in general. We'll have those details coming up. Rebecca, how are the roads? What's the latest?
It's a messy morning commute, that's for sure. We are up to 16 active crashes and incidents just across the greater Charlotte area. The fog's certainly not helping, especially between South Charlotte and uptown. It is thick out there. I-77 near Arrowwood Road. Of course, it's also slow, especially on those northbound lanes. If you're traveling south, that's smooth sailing. But if you're traveling north, especially go further into uptown, you'll expect that typical stop and go traffic. Want to let you know of a couple things going on, including this one. This is going to be on the southbound or outbound Independence Boulevard lanes. Crash at Village Lake Drive, a stretch of delays there. And then still have this crash. This is W.T. Harris Boulevard at IBM Drive. A little bit of orange there, indicating some slowdowns. And then this one, this is going to be Cindy Lane, just north of I-85. Crash at Juniper Drive. Not really seeing much in terms of slowdowns. A little bit of yellow there. May add 1 extra minute to that morning commute. I would definitely, if you can, leave early to get to your destination.
NASCAR Commissioner Steve Phelps will step down at the end of the month. Phelps spent more than 20 years with the sport and was named NASCAR's first ever commissioner last spring. The announcement comes just 1 month after a high-profile antitrust lawsuit raised some questions about his leadership.
As we go to break, here's an exclusive shopping deal for our viewers.
Hey, our team tests tons of products. We only bring you the best, and you need these in an emergency. You will not regret it. These are Cato emergency radios, and they do so much more than that. Yes, they get AM and FM and shortwave and longwave, and importantly, the weather channels for those emergency instructions when there's a monsoon or a hurricane or a tornado outside your house and the power goes out. But let me show you some of the other features too. First of all, you can charge it with all these different ports, and you can also tell it, hey, I wanted to take a charge, or you can charge your phones. You can charge your devices when everything else is going out. You can also charge this when the power is out with solar right over there, or I want to show you this. Yes, you can hand crank charge this, and I can actually see the green light going on, and you can see it lighting up. It's charging. It also has a flashlight right over here, and many other features as well. This is the Voyager Pro KA600. This is the Voyager Max KA900, tougher construction, dual stereo speakers, plays audio from a micro SD card or anything you plug in. You also get a digital tuner with a calendar, clock, alarm, and sleep timer. This is one of those purchases you need to make now, so when emergencies strike, you are prepared. And we have a deal for you today on this too. Both of these radios, 20% off, starting at just $75.99. You can't afford not to get it. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
Now, President Trump says Venezuela will turn over tens of millions of barrels of sanctioned oil. The president said Energy Secretary Chris Wright has been directed to execute that plan. According to the president, the oil will be taken by storage ships and brought directly to unloading docks in the United States. Reed Binion has reaction from the Capitol.
It's been all about grabbing Venezuela's oil.
Lawmakers reacting with concern after President Donald Trump said Tuesday Venezuela will turn over 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. The president, writing on Truth Social, the oil will be sold at market value and the money, quote, will be controlled by me as President of the United States of America to ensure it is used to benefit the people of Venezuela and the United States. Lawmakers expressing skepticism.
I don't think either the American people or Venezuelan people are ever going to get the benefit of that money regardless.
Venezuela is home to roughly a fifth of the world's proven crude oil reserves, leading all countries with 303 billion barrels.
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars.
But experts say the prospect of oil companies running operations in Venezuela raises questions.
There are two sides of that equation, right? One is the Venezuelan government going to fight back? The other part of it is, will big oil in the United States take the kind of risks of doing large-scale investment that is required?
While some may wonder about the impact on gas prices, 30 to 50 million barrels of oil may sound like a lot, but to put it in context, the U.S. consumed just over 20 million barrels per day over the past month. So while it might lower oil prices a bit, it won't likely lower Americans' gas prices that much. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
The White House says President Trump is considering several options to acquire Greenland, and officials aren't ruling out military force either. Greenland is a self-governing territory of Denmark, and European leaders quickly voiced support for Denmark, saying the island belongs to its people. Denmark's prime minister said Trump's interests should be taken seriously, but warned that any military move could threaten the future of NATO. Greenland's government has now requested a meeting with Secretary of State Marco Rubio. 8:16 right now on WCNC Plus, a big shakeup at the Grammys this year, and it spotlights the art you see before you ever hit play. We'll explain next.
And as the Panthers get ready for the playoffs this weekend, join us for coverage all week long right here on WCNC Plus and on WCNC Charlotte. Join us every night this week at 9 for our Panthers on the Plus special. And on Saturday, join us at 2:30 for an hour-long pregame show right here on WCNC Plus outside Bank of America Stadium with our sports director Nick Carboni, Danielle Still, Logan Campbell, and more.
All right, good morning, everyone. I want to break down a few important things as you're starting out your day today. We've been over the fog. We know today is going to be nice this afternoon with temperatures climbing back into the mid-70s, record warmth possible. I mean, it's going to be a great day, so hopefully you can get outside and enjoy it. Tomorrow, not bad either, nearly 70 degrees with a good mix of sun and clouds. And then notice Friday and Saturday, we will have still very mild temperatures, but more clouds on the way, and then that strong cold front moves across the area late Friday and into Saturday. So let's break this all down for you, letting you know what's coming your way and helping you plan accordingly. Once we're looking at our future cast, you're going to notice this line of thunderstorms form. You can see it right here as we pause time. This is now early Saturday morning. This is 4 o'clock. It's still far away from the Carolinas, but those storms likely are going to pack a punch. Strong to severe weather, strong to severe storms causing some difficult weather from Arkansas out towards Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. I mean, we're even looking out towards Tennessee. Now, we're watching that storm system very carefully because it's tracking eastward, and we're trying to figure out how well that line is going to hold together, because here's what we know about that line. The Storm Prediction Center has already issued some warnings that those storms likely could bring some severe storms starting on Thursday. And then once we look at Friday, the risk for severe storms actually increases. Now, it's important to know that we don't have any threat for severe weather right now. It's just good to know in proximity where the line is and what's happening downstream before it actually hits our area. So let's walk you through this. Here's Friday. This is going to be heading into the early morning hour, so mid-morning about 10 o'clock. Not looking bad. Friday, we will have definitely more cloud coverage, but temperatures are going to remain rather warm. Heading into Friday night, you can see that widespread rain is mainly going to be west of us, at least the heavier bands of rain, but we will tap into that moisture. Heading into Saturday morning, it's going to be a rainy start to the morning. Still, it's going to be a rather warm start to the day. And again, temperatures back into the 70s. Now we're trying to determine when this line will actually move across the Carolinas, because here's the deal. If it hits us around the afternoon hours, that would kind of be worst case scenario, because by that point, our temperatures are going to be warm enough into the 70s, and there could even be some humidity and some energy for those storms to tap into, and that could fire up some storms, which would not be good timing, because of course Saturday is a very big day here in the Carolinas as the Panthers take on the LA Rams. Between 4 and 8 o'clock, still our models are indicating that scattered rain showers and potentially some thunderstorms will be in and around the area. And with temperatures that warm into the 60s and 70s, I mean, the ingredients will be in place for a few of those storms to at least develop. But so we'll be watching for the possibility of lightning strikes as well. I'll show you your full 7-day forecast all coming up here soon. But Becca, let's get a check on those roads this morning.
Taking you live outside over towards York County. This is I-77 at Gold Hill. It is crawling on those northbound lanes right now, and you can see just how dense that fog is. That's going to be the trend as you head from York all the way through about uptown. Stop and go traffic can be expected. We're also seeing some slowdowns on the inner loop of I-45 towards Matthews in the Mid-Hill area. Here are all the active crashes and incidents across the area, pretty much draped across Charlotte, including this one. This is going to be Audrey Kell Road crash at Tom Short Road. Then a little bit further off to the west, we still have this one. This is going to be Johnston Road, a crash being reported at Ballantyne Comets Parkway that is heading northbound. That is where we are seeing the most delays. Updated drive times, Matthews to Uptown on Independence now takes 34 minutes. Salisbury up to 52, Waxhaw 39, and Belmont 24 minutes.
The Grammys are shining a spotlight on album art this year with a brand new category dedicated entirely to the best album cover. It's the first time in more than 50 years that cover art is being honored on its own.
Artists like Bad Bunny, Tyler the Creator, Perfume Genius, and more are all nominated for this debut award. The Recording Academy says the change reflects the importance of album imagery even in the digital age. For the artists and designers, it's a chance to celebrate the visual worlds that help define a record long before anyone presses play. And with vinyl booming again, the Grammys say it's the perfect moment to give album art its own stage. So, which album cover comes to mind when you think about an album cover?
I mean, see, for me, it's back in the day when you actually had a physical, either album or CD or some, whatever you had. And so, because I don't really know the music I listen to half the time what the
now I have no idea.
So I would probably go back to college and Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Oh my gosh, I was thinking the same. Like I played that over and over and
every
over
single
again.
song.
Lauren, the pencil like with the dreads there. I love that one. I also think about Notorious B.I.G. with the Ready to Die, and it's like a little baby sitting, but it's yet ready to die.
I can't really relate, to be honest.
No, I know. I don't.
Not at all.
You don't. Now, when's the last time you've seen one, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking more like Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter has a good one.
Yeah.
But like, are you that aware of the
album
art?
cover? What it looks
I'm
like?
not anymore.
Sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes I'll have them on Spotify.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, sometimes in my car they'll show a picture and I'm like, oh yeah, look at that.
I'll see it, but like it doesn't resonate with me. I guess.
Right. I mean, you're talking to the girl who still listens to Pandora, so I'm just not really on that level. But I appreciate it.
No, honestly, I'm not on Spotify either.
I'm on Pandora too.
Or Apple Music.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know.
What, Becca?
Just pay the extra money.
I know.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Think about an album cover that you remember. Maybe you don't. Who knows? All right, this could maybe be an album cover. Who knows? This is a look of Uptown. Again, nothing wrong with our camera. That just shows you the amount of fog that we have out there right now. But as Majestic says, the conditions are going to be improving today. In fact, it's going to be sunny and in the mid 70s. We'll be right back.
Well, good morning, everyone. We are getting you ready and prepared for a gorgeous Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine starting to pop out there in Louisville, but many of us were still dealing with very dense fog. National Weather Service has issued this dense fog advisory now for the third morning in a row. We'll stay under that until about 10 o'clock. Once that fog mixes out, though, let me tell you, today is the day. It is going to be nearly picture perfect, if you ask me, but look at how low the visibility is from Statesville to Charlotte to Monroe, even down across Lancaster, so be careful. Sunny and 75 degrees. How does that sound today? Very mild, taking us throughout the rest of our work week, but we do have that cold front pushing through Friday night and into Saturday, likely going to bring rainy conditions throughout the day on Saturday and possibly even a few thunderstorms. We're still fine-tuning that forecast as we're getting closer, so make sure you stay close to the WCNC weather team. All right, Becca, how are the roads?
It is slow and foggy out there. That is going to be the trend across the board. I-77 at Woodlawn Road. No accidents right now to let you know of on the major interstates or highways. That's going to be probably the only good news I have for you on this early Wednesday, as we still have lots of crashes out there. Want to get you to this one. This is causing a stretch of delays on the southbound lanes of Independence Boulevard at Village Lake Drive.
are streaming live on WCNC Plus at 8:30. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. In just a few hours, the man accused of planning a New Year's Eve terror attack in Mint Hill is set to face a judge.
WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards is live outside the courthouse in Uptown. So, Destiny, what are we expecting to learn today?
Yeah, today in the courtroom, we could learn whether Christian Sturtevant will remain behind bars as his case moves forward. Investigators say the 18-year-old had been planning this attack for nearly a year, and he was under nonstop FBI surveillance in the days leading up to New Year's Eve. Now, Sturtevant is charged with attempting to provide material support to ISIS after investigators say he planned a violent attack for New Year's Eve. According to federal authorities, Sturtevant was under investigation after contacting what he believed were ISIS members on social media, who are actually undercover officers with the NYPD and FBI. They say Sturtevant described plans for a mass stabbing at a grocery store and a fast food restaurant in Mint Hill, allegedly sending photos of knives and hammers and pledging allegiance to ISIS. According to court documents, agents later searched his home and found handwritten notes labeled New Year's Attack 2026, a list of potential targets and tactical gear.
We are leaving no stone unturned here. Our investigation is not over at all. We are looking to find out if there are any associates, if there are any friends, if there are any people he were working with, whether it's domestically here in the United States or overseas.
If convicted, he could spend up to 20 years in federal prison. Today's hearing is set for 10:50 this morning. Live in Uptown, I'm Destiny Richards, WCNC Charlotte.
Destiny, thanks to this morning. School has been canceled in Avery County. The district citing a water main break as the reason students will not be in class. Right now, folks who live between State Employees Credit Union and Mountain Electric in Newland are being asked to boil their water until further notice.
A court has dismissed a North Carolina sheriff's deputy appeal in a deadly 2020 shooting that involved a mentally distressed veteran. Deputy Justin Evans wanted to overturn that ruling that allowed an excessive force lawsuit to move forward. The appeals court said it didn't have jurisdiction to review the deputy's appeal. Now, this happened in Cumberland County near Fayetteville. That deputy argued he should be protected from the lawsuit over the shooting of 39-year-old Adrian Roberts. The dismissal means this case will now return to trial. Well, there might not be much of a chill in the air this week. Winter is not done with us just yet.
It is only the 7th of January. So meteorologist Becca Birdsall breaks down why wind makes such a big difference for the cold in this week's Weather IQ.
According to the thermometer, it's 37 degrees outside. But according to my face, that information is incomplete. This is a wind chill. Let's raise your Weather IQ. Air temperature is the official reading you see on your thermometer. It's measured in a sheltered spot that tells you exactly how warm or cold the air is. No wind, no sunshine, no extra factors. But wind chill, that's where things get interesting. Wind chill is the feels like temperature, how cold it actually feels on your skin. Watch you factor in wind. When the wind blows across exposed skin, it strips away the thin layer of warm air your body naturally produces. The stronger the wind, the faster your body loses heat and the colder you feel. The wind chill formula looks like this. Or in scientific terms, math that proves you're not being dramatic. What this equation tells us is simple. Colder air plus stronger wind equals faster heat loss from your body. No wind, your body traps a layer of warm air. Add wind, and that warmth is gone faster. So let's look at a few examples. When the air temperature is 30 degrees with 15-mile-per-hour winds, the wind chill drops to 19 degrees. But when it's 10 degrees with a 15-mile-per-hour wind, it feels like -7. Wind chill matters because it affects how fast your body can lose heat. In extremely low wind chills, frostbite can develop in minutes on exposed skin. So the next time you say, it's not that cold, just remember the math says otherwise. With your Weather IQ, I'm meteorologist Becca Birdsall.
All right, thanks, Becca. It is going to be beautiful and warm today, but let me tell you, next week, especially Monday morning, believe it or not, we're going to be going from 75 degrees today to below freezing temperatures. So winter is not over, and you need to get outside and enjoy this. Look at how pretty it is out there this morning. This is coming in live from Lake Norman. I've been seeing a couple of people out and about, walking around, enjoying a beautiful start to their Wednesday morning. However, some places continue to look like this. We have just a lot of low-lying clouds and fog out there, and it's going to take a little while before it all mixes out. Other places like Annapolis holding on to a lot of sunshine, already just gorgeous. But look at our visibility map. I mean, several areas waking up to very, very dense fog, including uptown Monroe, even east of Charlotte, out towards Wadesboro and Cheraw, and then out towards Gastonia and Shelby. Low visibility this morning. Make sure you're traveling for the conditions, because at times it's going to be very difficult to see. Make sure you're allowing for a few extra minutes to get to where you need to be, and don't drive that fast. Just slow it down. Temperatures, if you haven't been outside yet, they're actually really quite mild. 50 degrees right now in Charlotte. We didn't cool down a whole lot overnight. Didn't cool down a lot overnight in the mountains either, and ultimately this is setting us up for a really warm day. Right now it's 22 degrees warmer in Boone compared to yesterday at this time, 11 degrees warmer in Jefferson, and about 2 degrees warmer here in the Queen City. Now, high temperatures today in the mountains, still above average as well, mid to upper 50s. Few more clouds out there in the mountains today, but across the foothills, we have low 70s. Low 70s, I don't think many people are mad about that. Very comfortable conditions. 71 in Lenoir, 71 in Hickory, and then low 70s out towards Maiden. We'll top off right around 74, 75 degrees this afternoon from Charlotte to Shelby, and 75 in Concord. Low 70s from Lancaster to Chester, and then up towards Wadesboro, 73, but you got to get through that really dense fog first. Again, holding on to cloudy conditions early this morning. So if you're somebody who has places to be, you have things to do this morning, it is cloudy, it's foggy, but once we head through mid-morning, early afternoon, it is going to really mix out nicely. Light jacket heading out the door this morning, t-shirt by this afternoon, and don't forget those sunglasses. You'll want them today. Mild temperatures take us not just into today, but for the next 4 days in a row, we'll have a mix of upper 60s, low to mid 70s. Sunny skies today, looking pretty nice for our Thursday. More clouds start to move through Friday and Saturday. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk about the rain that's associated with that incoming cold front. Becca, how are the roads? Any accidents so far this morning?
Lots of accidents to talk about, but we're actually starting to see the number of accidents and incidents reduce as rush hour traffic starts to come to an end. But it's in full force out there, and foggy conditions from our camera. Live view from I-85 near Sam Wilson. This camera is also black and white, adding to that poor visibility out there. But in the shaded orange, that is where we are seeing the densest fog. That sets up right along the side, that I-77 corridor, basically from Statesville down into Huntersville, Charlotte Metro, extending down into portions of York and Chester County. Same goes with I-85 and, of course, around the greater Charlotte area. Now, do you want to get to those incidents out there that I've been mentioning? Here they are across the greater Charlotte area, including this one in East Charlotte. This one has both directions pretty gridlocked. This is Robinson Church Road at Fairford Drive. Will likely add a couple extra minutes to that morning drive. And then here's this one to BT Harris Boulevard at IBM Drive. Some minor delays associated with that. And then the last one is going to be this one, Cindy Lane at Juniper Drive.
8:38 right now on WCNC Plus. This morning, project officials say the 45 express lanes in South Charlotte are set to open by late next month. It'll add an express lane in each direction between I-77 and Independence Boulevard, plus an extra general purpose lane. For now, tolls will be set by the time of day, but after that, a year, prices could be changing depending on traffic and speeds in those express lanes. Drivers in Waxhaw, listen up. A new construction project could impact your commute. Starting next week, part of Billy Howie Road will be closed. Crews are repairing the bridge deck over East Fork 12 Mile Creek. Construction expected to take up to 5 weeks in all. A detour is going to be placed along New Town Road and Pleasant Grove Road. A new boutique hotel in the works for downtown Rock Hill. Take a look. It has a unique mission, creating jobs for folks with disabilities. The Lantern Hotel Rock Hill will transform the historic Andrew Jackson Hotel. It'll include 56 rooms, a restaurant, bar, speakeasy, event space, and more. The hotel expected to open this fall.
New this morning, a group of Buddhist monks walking for peace that left Georgia last week are now in South Carolina. After 73 days on the move, the monks, along with their dog Aloka, crossed the Savannah River into the Palmetto State on Tuesday. The group started that 2,300-mile journey in Fort Worth, Texas in late October. You can see them walking along a South Carolina highway with fans cheering them on. The monks will make a stop in Columbia today, eventually arriving at their final destination, Washington, D.C.
Flu symptoms sending Americans to the doctor at record levels. The new numbers and why cases are expected to keep climbing.
And as the Panthers get ready for the playoffs this weekend, join us for coverage all week long right here on WCNC Plus. Each weeknight this week at 9 o'clock, our Panthers on the Plus special will air. And on Saturday, make sure you join us at 2:30 for an hour-long pregame show right here on WCNC Plus outside the bank with our sports director Nick Carboni, Danielle Still, Logan Campbell, and more. The time is now 8:43. Doctors groups around the country are sounding the alarm, saying more Americans will die after the CDC announced a major overhaul to the childhood vaccine schedule. The CDC will now only recommend kids get 11 vaccines instead of 18 previously.
This change comes amid a spike in diseases like measles, whooping cough, and tetanus in unvaccinated patients. Amy Cho spoke to a vaccine expert about what these changes could mean for you and your family.
What do you make of these changes? What do parents need to know?
So I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is trying to make it so that vaccines are considered optional.
Dr. Paul Offit is director of the Vaccine Education Center at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. He previously served on the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Panel. He says he's deeply concerned about the CDC's newly announced vaccine categories, recommended for all, those at high risk, and shared decision making.
And just say shared clinical decision making. What you're really saying there is you're saying you can reasonably choose not to get any of these vaccines. Therefore, a choice not to get a vaccine is a very real choice to suffer one of these infections.
The vaccines on the shared clinical decision making list are rotavirus, COVID-19, flu, meningococcal disease, and hepatitis A and B. The Department of Health and Human Services says it made the changes to, quote, rebuild trust in public health, citing a need for more and better gold standard science.
So when RFK Jr. says that we aren't paying attention to vaccine safety, what he really means is that we're not finding the vaccine safety issues that he thinks are issues, like autism or diabetes or multiple sclerosis. And every time that's been looked at, he's been shown to be wrong.
These are the 11 vaccines the CDC still recommends for all children. They include DTaP, HIV, PCV, polio, MMR, HPV, and chickenpox. Back in June, Secretary Kennedy fired all 17 members of the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Panel, who combined had more than 460 years of medical experience. Several of the current members have expressed skepticism around vaccines.
I am not an anti-vaxxer. I am absolutely opposed now to vaccine mandates. That's my personal position.
An NBC News investigation found in nearly 80% of counties and jurisdictions in the U.S., vaccination rates have decreased over the past 6 years.
Amy Cho reporting for us there. Flu-like illnesses are sweeping across the country, with the CDC reporting the highest number of doctor visits for fever, sore throat, and cough in nearly 30 years. Nearly every state seeing high or very high flu activity, and experts say the numbers just keep on climbing. Experts also want to inform you it's not too late to get vaccinated.
So it's not too late to get a flu vaccine. This can be tremendously helpful and effective at preventing severe disease that requires hospitalization. And we're still about a month or so away from the typical peak of flu season, which occurs in February.
The CDC recommends everybody 6 months and older who's not yet been vaccinated this season get the annual flu vaccine. The agency says approximately 130 million doses of the vaccine have been given out in the U.S. so far this season.
President Trump told House Republicans Tuesday at the GOP retreat in Washington to strike a deal on health care assistance means being a little flexible on the long-standing Hyde Amendment, which blocks federal funding for abortion services. The idea immediately drew pushback from conservatives. The president argued that Republicans need room to negotiate, especially after the expiration of the Affordable Care Act subsidies sent premiums soaring for millions. Democrats, meanwhile, are pushing to end those restrictions altogether. This debate now moves to Capitol Hill, where both parties remain far apart.
Well, we have warmer weather today with temperatures continuing to climb back into the low to mid 70s. Coming up, we're going to be detailing out how long the warm temperatures will last. Good morning, everyone. It's still foggy out there. I mean, look at this. This is downtown Monroe. You can hardly even see. Still a lot of fog in and around even our studio. I mean, this is going to be what we're watching for the next couple of hours. But once that fog burns off, it's going to be a gorgeous day. Some of you are already lucky and you're waking up to nice clear skies, sunshine already coming through. What we're seeing here is beautiful blue sunny skies right there in Dallas. Much the same as we're looking towards Louisville out there in Anson County, but that fog has been tricky, not just this morning, but now this is the third morning in a row where we've had those dense fog advisories in place. Still one in place right now until 9-10 o'clock this morning, and it makes sense. I mean, look at how low the visibility is. It's getting a little bit better north of Charlotte, but then once you head even well north of Charlotte up there towards Statesville, you're really socked in with that dense fog. Much of the same from Monroe to Lancaster, Chester, Rock Hill, low visibility. So if you're traveling this morning, be ready for that. Otherwise, let's get you ready and prepared for a gorgeous, very spring-like day with temperatures continuing to rise back into the mid-70s, near record warmth today. And here's the deal. We're going to be holding on to upper 60s, low to mid-70s, not just for our Wednesday, but all the way through Saturday. Then watch what happens when we're looking towards Sunday and into next week. Temperatures are going to start to cool down a little bit, back to where we should be for this time of the year. Those are our actual highs. And then our overnight lows next week. Now those are going to hurt. Waking up Monday morning below freezing into the upper 20s, even colder up in the mountains. But let's really start talking about this cold front that's on the way, because bottom line, we know today it's going to be nice. We won't really have any big problems wrapping up our work week. But a cold front is on the way, and it arrives Friday night and into Saturday. That'll be our next best opportunity to see rain showers. But now we're a little concerned that we could even see a few storms with this as well. Futurecast looks like this. Notice as we progress through early Saturday morning, here comes this, a long line of strong to severe thunderstorms. And likely as it continues to move east, it's going to lose a lot of its momentum. So we're prepared for that. But we got to see when it actually arrives across the Carolinas, because it's showing that these storms are going to pack quite a punch. National Weather Service already indicating that Thursday and especially Friday, we could see severe weather from Arkansas, Louisiana, back into Tennessee and Mississippi. But then once it reaches our area, yes, it's going to bring in some rain Friday night and early Saturday. But really, if the line gets into western North Carolina, say Saturday afternoon, that's not going to be the best timing, because that's when the temperatures will be the warmest. That's when we'll have the most fuel for those storms to become a bit more intense at times. So if you're heading out to the Panthers game, keep that in mind. Keep the poncho handy. Some of those storms might even bring some lightning with them as well. There's that Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Enjoy the sunshine today. We're still several days out from the big game, so stay close to our team. We'll keep you up to date with those changes. All right, Becca, let's get a check on those roads.
Starting to see some improving conditions out there, at least with the traffic out of the road, not necessarily the fog that's still hanging around the uptown area. This is a live view from I-77 at LaSalle Street. You can see especially those southbound lanes as drivers head closer to uptown Charlotte. That is definitely more packed with traffic. In the orange there, still dealing with dense fog setting up across I-77, 85, and I-485 as well. Just take it slow and easy out there. Make sure to use those low beams if you head out early. Looking at a couple of things right now, including this crash on the southbound lanes of Independence Boulevard at Village Lake Drive, and then this one further south. This is at Johnston Road, crash at Ballantyne Commons Parkway. I am seeing delays in both directions there. And here's an updated look now at those drive times. Matthews to uptown will take now about 35 minutes. From Salisbury, about 52. Waxhaw, 39. And Belmont, 24 minutes.
Hi, this is Larry Sprinkle. Time for today's tiny town, which is south of Cullowhee, just southwest of Brevard. We're talking about Cashiers, North Carolina. The elevation 3,484 feet up in the mountains. Population 657, just a little over 4 mile square territory. By the way, Cashiers is pronounced Cashiers, not Cashiers. It's near U.S. Route 64 and Highway 107. The original name was Cashiers Valley. It was changed to Cashiers in 1881. A beautiful spot with lots of waterfalls nearby. This one is frozen over just in time for wintertime. And if you love to ski and tube, there's Sapphire Valley Tubing near Cashiers, North Carolina. A great spot to visit in the mountains, really not too far from South Carolina. Cashiers, North Carolina, today's tiny town. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
We're going to take a quick break as we take a live look right now inside our live Impact studio. Jane Monreal is coming up at the top of the hour. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Yet again, we are waking up to pockets of very dense fog. You can hardly see downtown Monroe because of how dense that fog is. That's going to be the name of the game for the next couple of hours. Low visibility in and around uptown from Shelby to Chester, even Rock Hill. Make sure you're driving nice and slow and drive for the conditions. Some places are already lucky enough. You're waking up to sunny skies out there in Kannapolis. It is beautiful. And if you haven't felt those temperatures outside yet, it's already very mild. 51 degrees in Charlotte, setting us up for a very warm and quite beautiful afternoon with mid-70-degree temperatures on the way, well above our average for this time of the year. We should really only be into the low 50s. Grab a light jacket as you're heading out the door this morning. You'll want a t-shirt by the afternoon. And this weekend, remember, we're watching Saturday for passing showers and possibly some storms. So stay close to the WCNC weather team. Becca, how are the roads?
Still looking at that dense fog, especially around that York-Mecklenburg County line, I-77 near Westinghouse Boulevard. These are the conditions that you'll be driving in as you head out early this morning. Want to note that we are seeing some improving conditions in the fog, especially around the Huntersville, Statesville area, extending all the way into portions of Iredell County. Just exercise some caution as you hit the roads.